All right, we are here with George Lynch. How are you doing, George? Welcome to musicianschannel.com.
Thank you.
So, you're out on the road again and having fun, I hope. Hope it's going well.
Well, out on the road is, we're coming out for one show on a weekend.
Yeah.
So it's not really we're not really on tour, not really on the road. It's we fly out the day before, do a show the next night, fly home the next morning. So
well, actually,
it's not even a full weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no bus involved. There are no jets. There are no groupies. There's no cocaine. There's no hot tubs.
No fun at all.
No super troopers. No dry ice. It's just
no explosions.
Yeah, no David Lee Roth doing the splits off the 10-foot drum riser.
None of that. Yeah. Wow. You miss those days?
Well, parts of it. The
cocaine and the stripper.
Yeah, well, of course, without saying. But no, playing the Enormo Dome for 65,000 people, I guess it would be cool again. But, we play for a decent amount of people, and we have our fans, and we get to get out in front of people and do what we do, and I'm just thankful for that. So, and I think really back in the bad old days, the bad outweighed the good, quite honestly. So, yeah, it's hard to really weight the good and the bad. But
I understand what you mean.
I like where we're at now.
So look, I grew up in SoCal in the 80s. So
I'm sorry.
And so I played all the clubs, the Whiskey, the Roxy, all that stuff. So I was there at that time and had a lot of fun too, and remember it fondly. But yeah, it's like, well, I probably wasted some time and I probably killed a few brain cells I wish I hadn't killed.
Yeah, well, there's no time in life for regret. So
exactly. So I was going to say, and this is a thought that's come to me over the years recently, is just that who would have thought, really, that in the year 2022 we'd be still enjoying the kind of music you play in auditoriums like the Arcada here in Chicago.
Theater.
With a lot of people. A lot of people, and some shows are bigger than others, but man, it wasn't something I would have expected 30 years ago.
Well, quite honestly, where we were at that time in our heyday, in the mid to late 80s, we were thinking it would never end, and that's the way it is with pretty much everybody. I think once you've achieved a certain amount of momentum, there's really no turning back. It's sustainable for a lifetime and beyond. But there's a critical mass, that you achieve, I think, in notoriety or fame or whatever you want to call it, success, however you just define that, where that point of critical mass does occur, and where you're never going back, for good or bad. But that didn't really happen with us. We weren't, we were a pretty big band, but we weren't Van Halen, Aerosmith level band. So we couldn't sustain that, and that's okay. I figured I'm one of the lucky very few that have been able to have a career in doing what I love, and hopefully what I'm pretty good at for my lifetime, pretty much my whole working existence. And there's been some rough periods, especially in the 90s, when it was kind of embarrassed to say you were a guitar player. You had to say, well, what do you do for a living? I play, excuse me, what was that again? And you intentionally downplayed your solos and stuff. You just did one-note solos like Cinnamon Girl, But I'm exaggerating, but so yeah. So I've learned, to just weather the storms and the peaks and valleys, and it was a great experience, and continues to be. It's just to me, I look at it like an adventure instead of punching the clock. Every day I wake up and I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be challenges and all that, but I'm all right with that.
Mm-hmm. Do you, when you're home, do you play guitar every day? Do you work on recordings every day? Do you take a couple days off? Do you have a routine of I need a couple rest days, I'm going to go hiking in the mountains or something? What do you do?
Well, my work and my family dictate how often I have a guitar in my hands. So when I make records frequently, so I'm frequently recording. I'm involved in 2 or 3 record projects, maybe at any one point. So I may be doing back-to-back sessions all week long, 10:30 in the morning till 7 at night. I may have a guitar on, maybe it'll be a half day, maybe I'll take a day off because I got something else going on, or I'll be recording at some other studio or some other project. Then I fly out and do these weekenders, and or do a cruise. I'll be on the cruise for a week playing, 3 shows or something. And in those instances, yeah, I'm playing all day long. I'm in the saddle. But then there's times where, my wife and I will take off and we'll go camping and go road tripping or whatever it is, and or just spend time with the family. And then sometimes I won't bring a guitar, or I will, but I won't play it very often. But just enough to just pick it up once in a while and keep from getting too rusty. But I like the idea, and I don't know whether this is the lazy part of me talking, I'm just justifying, rationalizing my laziness, but I do like the idea of walking away from the guitar occasionally so it doesn't get stale, so that I'm excited about what I'm playing and not just running, stuff rote and just not getting excited about what I'm doing and feeling it. I'm just sort of, I've gotten to that point where I've really applied myself and thought, I need to really just be a machine in woodshed. And yeah, my playing improved, but also it became less exciting in some ways. I mean, it was intellectually, maybe it was more, it was more right, but that magic intangible thing, it wasn't as there as much, because I was really working in a framework. I was playing scales more accurately, and my picking was more accurate, but then I was leaving less to chance and less to just the wilderness of ideas. And so I think, I'm not saying by intentionally, but I think I strike a pretty decent balance with those 2 approaches. Being disciplined, not quite enough, but I should be more disciplined. But a certain amount of discipline mixed with a certain amount of just shooting from the hip.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that when I woodshed a lot and the metronome and whatever patterns, after a while I start to realize, yeah, but when I play the guitar, I sound like I'm playing to a metronome with some patterns, and I need like a little time away from that hard woodshedding, as you would say, to like just back off and then come back at it, and it just sparks a different pleasure and enjoyment of the instrument. So,
but you need enough technical ability to pull off what you're trying to play.
Right. So there's always that balance between work hard and improve the technical ability, back off a little so I'm creative. But then I noticed that, oh man, I was playing it better the other day when I was with the so that's a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, and chasing performances is also, I haven't had good luck with that either, because you're never gonna emulate or beat a previous performance. So I think if you hang on to that and compare yourself to something you've done before, I think it's a loser's game. It's how can you win? Because it's, and you're just going to bum yourself out. So you just got to assume, like, every day I wake up, I'm reinventing the wheel. It's starting from zero every single day, every single solo, every single time I record, every time I step on stage. It's not 1986. It's not, last tour. It's just this whole new thing. It's from here forward.
So I saw you play at the NAMM show a couple years ago with Dokken, and that Ultimate Jam night in one of the hotel ballrooms, and I believe you were playing some Hendrix, right? Did you? Yeah. And you were to me approaching it in a much more laid back fashion, I would say, and so.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, it probably was. When you say laid back, it probably was alcohol might have been involved. So. Yeah.
Sure. So you are in a kind of a unique position in terms of all the people that you played with over the years.